Hi everyone. I wanted to just do some explaining on scoring Swiss teams because tomorrow it's going to be noisy and this gives you time to look at it and then you can ask me questions if you have any. So first I'm going to share my screen with a couple of important things. Okay, so this is when you first come in and you pay your money, they're going to give you a sheet that'll have for 4 people to record your names for the team. And they're going to assign you a team number. And you'll see this thing on the wall, this RDBC. This is just a way that they can sort out the teams, and it helps you figure out who you're supposed to play and helps them figure out who you're supposed to play. So when you get a team number, let's say you're assigned team number 3. And team number 3, you'll see this little card that says C1 on it. That's where your north-south table would be. You would go to the table that says C1. And your east-west would automatically go to D1. So if the C1 is your north-south, and it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So A and B play together, C and D's play together, E and F, G and H. So when it says C1, your north-south goes there, and your east-west would go to D1. Now, that being said, when it's big like this, sometimes they do a different movement where you actually, north-south definitely goes to C1, but you might be told it's a round robin, and you probably will be told that tomorrow. And we'll help you figure that out because I don't want to make you any more confused than you already are. But this is what you'll see, though. You'll get to, at least to begin with, to find out where your north-south goes. And we'll help you figure out where your east-west goes. North-south will stay there for the first round, and you might even be playing 2. It's possible you play 2 teams in the first round, or you might just play 1, and again, we'll help you. It depends on how they're going to set it up tomorrow. But that's just the beginning. I really want to focus on what the scoring's like. So here's an example. Let's see here. This is an example of scoring. You're going to have a sheet like this. You know how you write down when you're doing your recording your games in a regular game? You put the board number next to the number, what the board is and what the contract was and whether you went down or not and so forth. So this is what you're going to have, and you're going to create it yourself because their board numbers, they might be 1 through 7, 1 through 6, possibly 1 through 8. And then there are going to be others that are going to be like 17 to 24, things like that. So you'll be given 6 or 7 boards is probably how many they're going to do tomorrow. And they're going to split them between the 2 tables, or if you're doing one around robin, whatever they're going to do, they're going to give you a pile of boards. And you go to your table, and the east-west is going to go where they tell you to go. And then you're going to shuffle the cards. You're going to shuffle each board, create, and everybody takes turns. Like if you're doing a round robin and you get 6 boards all at once, then you all get busy and you do the 6 boards. You shuffle them and create the new boards. Put them in the the little holders, and then you can start playing them. It's important that you write down the numbers on the sheet. Your boards might be 1 through 6. Your boards might be 17 through 24, whatever. Whatever's the first one in that group, you're going to write it down on this part where it says board number. So I'm pretending like your team is playing and you're looking at playing 7 hands. You might, again, I'm not sure how many they're going to do tomorrow. So you're going to write down 1 through 7. And when you play board 1, you're going to write your contract down. Now this side here, this is if you were north-south and you're recording your sheet. I've got 2 sheets here. So this is yours. Your east-west is doing the same thing over at their board. Okay? So, board 1, your north-south, you bid 3 spades in the north, and you made your contract, and that's 140. Now, if you're not familiar with scoring, that's where you look at on the bid box and look on the back, and it'll tell you. But somebody at your table is going to know how to score it. So don't panic if you don't know how to do that. Just ask, what is that? What is 3 spades in the north making 3? It's 140 points. And since North made that, they're going to put it in the plus side because they made 140 points. Then they played board 2. Board 2, the contract was 2 no trump in the east, and that was their opponents, North-South's opponents, made bid 2 no, and they made it, and no over tricks, so they get 120. Board 3, South bid 4 hearts, they made the game. That's 420. Don't look at these numbers yet. I'll explain what those are afterwards. So they 4 hearts in the south. They made bid 4, made 4, and they were not vulnerable. So it's 420. Board 4. There was 2 diamonds in the west, and that was their opponent who made 2 diamonds. That's 90. So it's in the minus. Again, the north-south keeping their score. Since their opponents got that, they give them 90. For 2 diamonds. Number 5 was 1 no trump in the north. They made 2, so they get 120 points in the plus side because that was what they made. 6 was 3 clubs in the west. Their opponents bid that and made 3, no over tricks. They got 110 points. And then 7 was 3 spades in the south, and they bid 3, but they made 4, so they get 170 points there. So that's all you have to do when you're scoring at the beginning. You just write down what your score was. If your opponents got their score, you put it in the minus column. If you made the score, or you set them or whatever, you put it in the plus column. Meanwhile, after you play these hands, your east-west is going to play the same hands. You don't shuffle again. You make sure those that you shuffled, and then they're going to end up back at where east-west is sitting. And they're going to play the exact same hands against the east-west that you played's partners that are north-south over there at that table. And so in their table, let's look and see what they did. So I'm over here now. Board 1, they also bid 3. Their team numbers, their north-south bid 3 spades. Remember, your partners are playing east-west here. So 3 spades in north, and they made it, but they made an extra trick, so they got 170. On number 2, they bid 1 no trump in the east, and they made 2, so 120. 3 was 4 spades in the west. So that's your partners, bid 4 spades in the west, and they went down 1. So they lost 50 points. 4, 2 diamonds in the west made 110. 5, it was 1 no trump in the north, and again, that was your opponents. So your partners, your east-west partners are scoring that, so their opponents got 90 on that one. 6, 3 no trump in the west. This is your east-west playing at the other table. They bid 3 no trump, and they made it, so they got 600. And then 7 on the exact same hand, where this one over here was 3 spades in south. 7, south bid 4 spades, and they made game because they bid the game and they were vulnerable. They got 620. So once you've played all your boards and your east-west has played all their boards, then your east-west is going to always compare with your opponents. Let's verify what we each got, make sure everybody's got the same scores down. They should be writing the scores down also. And then your east-west takes their sheet and they take it to your table where you're north-south, and you compare how you did on those hands. So the first one you'll say, north-south says, we got 140. And your east-west is going to say, they got, because it was their opponents, they got 170. So 140, you take the net of the points. So you take the 170 minus 140, that's 30 points. So your opponent's got 30 points more than you did. This is where it gets a little tricky, but then you go over in this column right here where it says international match points. And it says, so they got 30. Remember, they got more. So if they got between 20 and 40 points more than you did, they get 1 imp. That's what that is. So that's why this number is here. 1 imp is in your east-west realize is saying, well, they got it, they won it. So that's a negative point for you guys. So you both put 1 in the minus. Then on number 2, you compare your scores. And north-south will say, well, on 2, they got 120. And on east-west, your east-west says, oh, we got 120. That's called a push. So you got the same score for both sides, so there's no points given to either person. It's just team. It's a push. Number 3, north-south says, we bid 4 hearts of the south, and we got 420. Number 3 over here, east-west said, well, we bid 4 spades in the west, and we went down 1. Now, this is where a strategy can come in handy, because 3, if they had not bid the 4 spades, maybe they bid the 4 spades because their opponents who were north-south bid 4 hearts. And so if they both had made the thing 4 hearts, 4 hearts, it would have been a push. Nobody would have gotten any points. But if you can safely just go over a little bit and keep them from making their 4-heart game, look what happens. You get 420 here on your part, your north-south got 420. Well, you lost 50 points, so that goes in the minus side for the other team. Well, you take the 420 over here, you subtract the 50, that means you net 370 points. You go over here to this left side, 370 to 420 is worth 9 points. So with 9 points, that means you get 9 because you net that 9. They only got 50, you got 420. 420 minus 50 is 370. Take it to the chart. 370 to 420 is worth 9 points. So that's why you get 9 on your side, on the plus side. Number 4, 2 diamonds in the west. Your opponents made the 2 diamonds, they got 90. Over here, 2 diamonds in the west. You played east-west here because that's your partners were all here. And so if they say, north-south's going, well, 2 diamonds west, they got 90. And you go, oh, we had 2 diamonds west, we got 110 because you made an extra trick. So 90, you take the 110 minus the 90, and that's 20, and you get 1 point for making that extra trick. So you put that 1 in the plus side right here. Number 5 was 1 no trump in the north, making 2, so they got 120. Number 5 here, their north bid 1 no trump. They only made 1, they got 90. So again, not 120 minus 90, what they got is 30, and you go over here, and 30 is worth 1 point for you because you got more than they did. So you put a 1 in the right here next to where this is. Again, this is a plus. Number 6, it was 3 clubs in the west, your opponents. So you would go, they got 110. In other words, they bid 3 clubs and they made 3 clubs. But look what your partners did. They were in east-west, and they say, well, we got 600 because we bid 3 no, and we got the game. So you take the 600 minus the 110 that they got over here, and your net points is 490, which is nice. So 490, you get 10 points for that one. You put it in your plus side. On the 7th hand, it was 3 spades in the south for your north-south. They bid 3 and they made 4. But if you look over here on 7 here, it was 4 spades in the south. They bid the game. Your opponents, your east-west was playing somebody who bid the 4 spades and won it. They got 620, and you only got 170. So you take they take the 620 minus the 170. They net 450. Go over to 450, which is between 430 and 490. They get 10 points. So you lose 10 here, you put 10 in the negative because the other team got that one. And the East-West is doing the same thing. They got this, again, this is when you're both together comparing your scores. So this is the round that you played this one team. You were team number 3. That's why this says team number. And you ask the team that sits down, goes, what is your team number? And you write that down. So it's team number 3 versus team number 5. You add up the points and you figure out, subtract the difference. So this was 9, 10, 11. You have 21 points in the plus side. You add up what they have in the negative. They have 11 points. So 21 minus 11, you net a positive result of 10 points. There's a little sheet, there's little squares of score things, and it'll say, what was your team number? Who did you play? What team did you play? So you write team number 3 won versus team 5, and how much did you win by? You got 10 points. So that is one round, and you'll be playing probably 3 rounds like that. It depends again, it's either 3 or 4, but it might just be 3. So at the end, when they take those points, they're going to convert those to a score, and for each round that you win, have the most points, you will earn some master points at the end. And then they're going to take everybody's net points, all the ones you have your 10, and then you'll have the next hand will be on the same page. You'll do board numbers, and again, and you'll add up all your points, and these are called, they get converted to victory points, but you don't really need to worry about, they'll do that. And then in the end, they will tell you who got the most victory points, which team, and that will be the team that took first. And again, the nice thing is, as long as you win just one round, and you don't have to win every game. You'll notice that these people lost some, and it's the total at the end of these that will determine how you do for that round. So don't panic if you get down one. Don't panic if they bid the game and you didn't, because chances are maybe something else happened, and you never know. The other thing I'd really like to point out is that there's some strategy tips, and I'm going to email these to you. But the main thing is, if you'll see on number 7, 3 spades in the south, and they made 4. This is, and 7 was 4 spades in south, and they bid the game. What a difference that makes. They get 10 points because of that. Just like you had the 4 hearts in the south and made it, and they had, and some in your team members went over that to keep them from getting that game. They went down. But even if you're going to go down 2 or 3, you're still going to end up with more points. So if you go down 3, if you're not vulnerable, say that's 150 points, it's still 420 minus 150. You're still going to get a positive score. So don't worry about that. Sometimes you got to be defensive. It's what you have to be careful about is if you try to double somebody and they make it, you're going to get clobbered on points for that one game. So a couple of tips which I'm going to share with you is, if you're on the fence, should I bid game or not? You probably should do so. It's different from regular games, because if you slip and you don't bid a game and they make it, again, if they bid the game and you don't, then you're going to lose a lot of points. So if you're on the fence, should I bid this or not? You probably should. Be aggressive on your bidding. Another is you don't have to worry so much about getting extra tricks. That just counts maybe a point. You'll see that like one bid 140, one bid 170. That's only 1 point. So don't lose the picture like, whoa, I know I've got 8 solid tricks, but I'm going to try to get 9, and then you end up only with 7. You want to go for what you can get, but you don't have to go the max. Whereas in the regular bridge, that one little difference can make you higher up on a percentage, and so it's a different kind of game, which makes it interesting. And the other thing is, again, be careful about doubling. But the other thing I really want to stress is that you have to be kind, because this is a game where you go over and maybe your partner didn't bid the game and that meant they got 10 points or whatever. Everybody makes mistakes in Swiss. Everybody does. And to be negative towards your partner or your pair that you're playing with is just not cool. So the best thing is just to go, I know you did the best you could. That's the other team. I've played with people who go, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? How come you didn't bid game? That's just a negativity that doesn't help improve the game. And the best partners in a team game are going, good try. Just, next round, you might not do, maybe you'll get clobbered in one round. That's just one round. It's not like you'll have other rounds where you can come back. And so don't write the game off or team off just because you had one session where it didn't work out for everybody. So I hope this helps you, and I will be around at 12:30 to go over this again. I'll have this on a sheet for you, and hope you have a good time. Look forward to it, and I appreciate all of you that are taking this step who have never played before, because that's pretty awesome. Thanks.